and this is really big. Kyrie Irving. So Shams Charania, who breaks a lot of news, obviously, in the Charania in the NBA.
Right.
He wrote a couple days ago that there was growing optimism. It's a kind of a weird story, but he said there's growing optimism.
Because there's no facts in there. There's nothing, Chris. Like, I'm not ripping him, but there was no, like, pathway or, like.
Right. Well, he didn't even know. Well, first of all, for those that don't know, he said there's growing optimism within the Nets organization of Kyrie playing this year. And to your point, Rob, he didn't say, oh, they think he's going to get vaccinated.
Right.
He's been telling them, some of his teammates, he might get vaccinated. And they didn't say they think New York's going to, change the law, which they're not. New York's not thinking about that right now.
And especially not now, Chris, with what's going on right in the country. Like,
right.
Exactly. How can you change it
they
now?
Definitely ain't doing that right now. So, and nor did he say that, well, now they're thinking about playing him road games, right? And practicing him at home.
None of that.
All of those are options. Like, the only options are they start playing him in road games, but not home games, or he gets vaccinated. And he said there's no telling at this point which one they're thinking. He brought up that Kyrie and Kevin Durant have been talking. Rob, my guess is that those two have stayed in touch.
They're friends.
Yeah,
you might disagree. Yeah. They're friends, and everybody's got to live their own life. But, right, what is he never going to talk to him again?
Right, exactly.
I just don't. They came together. They came to Brooklyn together. I just think, right.
So
I know Durant can't be happy about it, but you know what I mean. You live and you kind of got to deal with it.
Well, Rob, and you know this, I was totally on board with once Kyrie couldn't play in home games with not playing him at all, right, in road games. But I'm going to be honest, man, that was when I thought that James Harden was still superstar James Harden. He ain't playing anything close to a superstar. He's playing like an all-star, probably. His numbers are great, but, a lot of guys got big numbers this year, today's NBA. But he's just not like Rob. I mean, going into the year, he was viewed as a top 5, top 6 player in the league, right? And, we talked about it on the show last year. He was darn near the MVP before he got hurt. If people wouldn't have held the way he left Houston against him, I think he could have been the MVP before he got hurt. And I felt like you got 2 top 5, top 6 players. They can still win it without Kyrie. I also thought, Rob, that chemistry would be an issue, mainly with Harden. Durant is who he is. I don't care who you put him out there with. He's not going to dominate the ball. Just give him his touches, and he's going to get you buckets, all right, no matter what. Role players are role players. They fit in. They get in where they fit in. Patty Mills, Nick Claxton, James Johnson, Bruce Brown, Joe Harris. We can go on and on. They get in where they fit in. Harden was the guy, Rob, that I felt like, okay, when Kyrie's not there, Harden's going to have to be a scorer, to complement Durant, pick up the points. And when Kyrie's there, now all of a sudden he's got to go back to being a playmaker and getting everybody involved and being the third scorer. That's a lot. That's a lot of a change. But now I think, Rob, here's what I would do if I was then. I would consider, because I'm going to assume that Kyrie's not getting vaccinated, Rob, and that what they're talking about is maybe him playing just road games. Which I know is.
Did you see the Instagram post?
Yeah, what did?
With him putting on sneakers?
Kyrie posted Instagram of him
just
putting on
sneakers.
Yep.
Right.
Which obviously after this report that he might be back. Rob, here's what I would do if I was the Nets. Because I'll say it, and I'm sorry I'm being long-winded. I'm gonna let you just go after this. But I don't think the Nets can win. If everybody's healthy all across, the top teams. I don't think the Nets win the championship the way they are with Harden just playing at this level. I think they need Kyrie. And so if I were the Nets, here's what I would do. I would talk to Harden and KD and see if they're on board with what they want Kyrie just to play in road games. If they're down with it, then I would say, look, we're going to play the rest of December, see how we look. Because, Rob, even though they have the best record in the East, they're 0-6 against Phoenix, Golden State, Chicago, Milwaukee, Miami. Like, they haven't beaten good teams. They're beating up on the also-rans. I would play out December, see how it looks. Do we improve? Do we get better? We beat some good teams. And if we look the same, Harden looks the same, then I would look at bringing Kyrie back, assuming KD and Harden are on board, bringing him back to practice in January because he can practice at home. So bring him back, practice. He's in practice. We're scrimmaging. We're playing. And everybody's good with it. The camaraderie's good. The chemistry's good. The players really legitimately want him back. And then I would look at playing him in road games. Because the bottom line is if I'm in a 7-game series and I've got him for 3 or 4 games, at this point, because Harden is playing like a deferential point guard. He's only shooting 14 shots a game, which is the lowest since he left Oklahoma City 10 years ago. And so my thing is Harden's going to play this way with or without Kyrie. Like, if he was doing this with Kyrie, Rob, it'd be fine. But without Kyrie, I need him to score. But this is what he's going to do. He's not shooting a lot, not being as aggressive. So if he's going to play that way with or without Kyrie, then I would look at it. I would really look at it, Rob.
Yeah, I totally disagree. I think it would be a distraction. It would constantly be about every game you lose without him, about having Kyrie. I think with the COVID thing going crazy, bringing him into the mix, and then you got issues there. You already got stuff happening. I just think there's too many things that would go on. And then what if you're in the NBA Finals and he can't play in the games in Brooklyn and you got 4 games in Brooklyn?
Well, that would be it. Yeah,
like none of that just doesn't work for me. And I think when you talk about a team and you're trying to be sensitive to people's needs, Chris, either you're in or you're out. And he chose to be out, and it's okay. It's okay. And I think the Nets did the right thing rather than they could have caved and just said, just come on, you'll do the road game. Because then it's going to be, Chris, you can't play in Toronto. Now you're playing Toronto in the playoffs. I'm just giving you a scenario. You can't go to Toronto and you can't play in Brooklyn, right?
I understand the scenario. I totally get it. And you're right. Like, I was with you. My thinking is this. I don't think, and I think we differ here. I don't think they look very good. I mean, they look okay.
It's too early for me. My problem
not
is
me. I mean, Harden.
James Harden has a resume that I'll wait and see if he turns it on. At the start of after. People even say the NBA season doesn't start until Christmas Day. So I'm gonna wait on James Harden. I'm not that concerned. They're winning without it, and I'm saying, of course, they got to beat some better teams and keep building towards the season as you go forward. Joe Harris has been out. They've had some other issues that people haven't been there and some other things. But I still think that if those two guys play to their resume, Chris, now obviously if James Harden doesn't, then it's going to be a struggle. But if they play to their resume and Durant's playing like an MVP, which is why they're still winning. Even tonight, they're down to 7 players. I don't know what the score is now, but they were up by 8 or 10 the last time I looked. I'm okay. I just think you bring Kyrie, you open up a can of worms, and it could blow up in your face, to be honest.
They're down 92-84 to the Raptors, the Nets. Okay,
so yeah.
Durant's got 21, looks like.
Because they only got, 7, 8 players tonight? Yeah.
Yeah, 8. But, Harden, it'd be one thing. He's just not being nearly as aggressive. I don't know why he's only taking 14 shots a game. That's just, he was taking more shots last year. And I hear you, but Joe Tsai, the owner, said this, Rob, when he took Kyrie out or said, he's not going to play at all.
Right.
He said, we're here to win a championship. And that's what I'm saying. And that's where you and I differ. I don't think they're going to beat Milwaukee the way they are. And, if Milwaukee's healthy. I don't think KD's not a great leader to me. He's a great player. I don't think Harden's a great leader. He's a great player. Kyrie is not a great leader, but he's their leader. Like he's their strongest personality, I think.
Yeah, but the other problem is you don't even know. What if you bring Kyrie back and he he decides to take a sabbatical, or he doesn't want to do this, or
I mean,
just saying
he's a different guy. Yeah, no doubt about
those
that.
are the things that would concern me. Okay, we got him. Okay, something else happened in the world, or something happened, and now he's not into it.
I guess I'm like, what do you got to lose? Because and that's where, if you still think they're gonna win it, then I understand where you're coming from.
I think because there's room for an improvement. If he was playing, if you're telling me that Harden was playing at his max, Chris, and they couldn't beat any good teams, then I would be with you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I look at it that way. If Harden was playing Harden and you're struggling, then I'd say, okay, well, this ain't going to happen. But he hasn't played himself.
He's not getting better, though. In December, he's shooting 35%, 21% from three. Like, it's not like I can point to, he's picked it up over the last month. No, he hasn't. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm very you can tell I'm disappointed in Harden. Like, I'm like, dude, what? And so, yeah, I hear you. I mean, if I would love for them not to have to bring Kyrie back, but I'm really starting to think, Rob, their best chance, because you're right, there's pitfalls, but their best chance to win a championship is with him. And, we have seen teams, you got a guy that's injured, and he can only play a few games here and there in a series. But you make do. And sometimes it works out. But and even, look, if Kyrie came back and it wasn't working out and he's acting like a knucklehead, then you could just say, dude, this was you got to go again.